Oh, the music's over? Sorry.
Good afternoon, good morning to you, depending on when and where you are tuning in from. Thank you so much for joining us again today. We are so happy to be here. We are doing our 4th episode of our March App Showdown.
4?
Yeah, which means it's our last episode, actually. So next week, we're just simply going to be voting for the very best app. Only one can win. So make sure you put in your vote.
Microsoft Teams.
Wow. Okay. All right, everybody. If you have not met us before, my name is Teresa Castro.
And I am Ricardo Recinos.
And we are both technology toasters from Hacienda La Puente Unified School District. And we're so happy to be here. We've done, I don't know, Ricardo, so many episodes at this point. But we are a little flustered today because today we saved the best for last because these are some of our favorite apps we wanted to go over. But just as a bit of a warning today, these are apps that we usually spend hours and days doing trainings on. So we really struggled today. We were like, oh, today will be easy. We already know how to do these. But it was a huge struggle because, Ricardo, these are apps. How do you summarize these amazing apps in like 15 minutes?
These are the heavyweights. These are the ones, as you mentioned, that we can spend days doing PDs. I was thinking about, I was feeling sorry for you. I was thinking, how is she going to do Canvas in 15 minutes? I mean, you do modules in an hour, like assignments and so on and so on. So good luck. But the same for me though. How do I do justice to Microsoft Teams in 15 minutes? But yes, so we are up here and we have Canvas LMS going against Microsoft Teams on this side. And I think we're down here where PearDeck is taking on Quizizz today. If you watched last week, we actually had Lexia. Lexia destroyed Sora last week. And on this side, I have to say this, Flipgrid did destroy Canvas Studio last week too. So that's where we are right now. It wasn't even close.
Oh, wow. Thanks. All right. So those of you who are fans of the apps we're going to be going over today, we apologize ahead of time because there's no way that we can cover all the great things in the amount of time we have. But we're just going to give you a little preview, a little advertisement, just give you a little taste of what it is for those who have not heard of it before so that you could make an informed decision as you make your vote for this week. So let's go ahead and continue. All right, so our purpose, as always, to discover new and existing technologies to deliver, assess, and tailor instruction for all students in engaging and effective ways. And it seemed like we had a lot of fun these last few weeks, but these really are apps that our teachers have been using. So hopefully you were able to benefit from our little advertisements of these apps. So today we're going to be going over Canvas, LMS. It's impossible. I don't even know, but we're going to do the best we can. Microsoft Teams and PearDeck and Quizizz, as Ricardo had mentioned before. And we do not expect you to be experts in these tech tools. We are only touching the tip of the iceberg here. And please do not throw out anything that you've been doing. Okay, these are just added to your teacher toolbox. Okay, so the first thing we're presenting today is Canvas LMS. Again, we could do days of trainings just for elements of Canvas. There's no way we're going to do it justice here, but if you're not familiar with Canvas LMS, it is a learning management system. And we know a lot of districts have been adopting this system. It's just so easy to use. It's a great place for teachers to provide their instruction, for students to be able to complete assignments, an easy way to grade, and also sync to their SIS system. There's just so much to say, but I'll wait till we get to that part. So Next.
And Canvas is going against Microsoft Teams. And, I was trying to find the best way to describe Microsoft Teams. I don't want to call it an LMS because I actually think it does more than that. I think it brings the Zoom features in here, and it brings a lot of different things from different places. So I just think that just allows students, faculty, educators, and staff just to meet, work together, create content, and share resources. And I know I said Office 365, but it goes a little bit further than that. And just so I can show you, see, I can actually bring people together in together mode inside of Microsoft Team. Can Canvas do that, Teresa?
This seems unfair.
No, I was just saying that this is called together mode inside of Microsoft Teams. I wasn't sure if you could do that with Canvas. And by the way, I'm the biggest Canvas fan, but I just had to say that.
Wow. Okay. So we're also
throwing punches.
I know. I'm a little bit offended already. We haven't even started. PearDeck is amazing. Our teachers have been using it. You can use it on Google Slides as well as PowerPoint. And it makes your slides interactive with the students. So it not only makes it engaging and fun for the students, but you're able to see the types of when they're answering live, and you can provide live feedback, which is really important. So I think it just makes instruction so much more engaging. And you can already use things that already exist. So you're not like starting something from scratch. So we love that.
Yes. And then finally, PearDeck is going against Quizizz. And how do I explain Quizizz? It's just gamification for our students to engage them, I think. And there's multiple features when you use it to make the classroom fun, interactive, and engagement. And I will show you a little bit about reports and some other options inside of Quizizz that you might not be aware of. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and start with Canvas LMS. And I think, Teresa, when you're ready to share your screen, you let me know. And I'll go ahead and put that in there.
I'll go ahead and share that screen with you. Sorry.
No problem.
I was using so many different screens earlier, so please hold. Yeah, that's the one I want.
So just to give you a background, we, again, are from Hacienda La Puente Unified School District, and this is our second full year utilizing Canvas as our official LMS.
Wow. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. So here we are. So we were trying to think of how's the best way to summarize what Canvas does. And I think we're just going to go through our dashboard and just pick some of our favorites. And I know I'm a little short on time because our intro was so long. So I apologize. All right, so here I am in Canvas right now. And this is actually my homepage. You can have so many different ways to show your homepage. We have a lot of our primary teachers love to have their homepage like this, so it's more welcoming for the students. They have buttons they can press. Some of our classes like to have it more like this, where the modules are actually in here. If you're not familiar with modules, it's like a unit of assignments that they could do in order, out of order, depending on your choice. But I'm kind of jumping ahead of myself as always. Over here on the left, the global navigation. If you have Canvas, your global navigation might look different than mine, depending on your district and what you offer. My account is a little bit. I have an admin account. So if you go here, the main one here is dashboard, and that's where we were. Actually, no, right here in my dashboard, I could see if I teach different classes in different periods, they could show up here. You can view them like this. There are different views that you can have. You also have the sidebar on the side that give you different reminders of things that are due and discussions and things like that. Okay, so I'm just going to go back to that course, hopefully. And Ricardo's allowed to actually correct me at any time. Because
today I know nothing about Canvas. Just watching.
That's not true. He is a Canvas expert. So we are helping each other. Just to remind you that, Mr. Racinos.
I was gonna say when you show the different homepages that your district or your organization might have the elementary mode turned on that looks completely different, and it's amazing. We're hoping that we're gonna have that eventually, but it actually allows you to put all of your homeroom and all of your different sections or content areas inside of it, like ELA, science, math, and so on and so on. We can show you that, but that is available too.
Absolutely. Okay, so I'm just going to go. I'm not going to click on everything because of time. If you right click, if you click on calendar, it'll bring you to your calendar, and you, as a student, as a teacher, you could see your different assignments and things like that. This is great for students, for them to be able to see what's due, what's coming up. Your inbox as well, where you can message with your colleagues, but also message with families as well. I think one of the more common things that we use here is something called Commons. And so this is great. It's kind of just a free-for-all, a place where people can just provide resources they've made, and also you could take or borrow or steal resources that other teachers and educators have already made. So here's one from our district, but if I turn off the district filter, there are thousands. You can see there's 10,000s of things in here. I could remove this filter for templates as well, and look how many, over 200,000 items that I could choose on here. I could filter, maybe I teach science and I'm wondering, has someone already made a test on this? So I could type it up here and it will show me what teachers have already made, and I could bring it into my course. So again, I don't have to create things from scratch all the time. I can come in here and see what teachers have already made, and if I don't like it, I could just delete it. Okay, so that's a big one. All right, down here, I know I'm kind of going backwards, Ricardo. I'm sorry, I'm going to go back to the main ones, but since I'm in the global navigation, I'm just going to stay here, if that's okay with you. Okay, a big one that I didn't want to miss is Canvas Studio. And in Canvas Studio, if your district has Canvas and also Canvas Studio, it's a great place because you could organize your videos. You can bring in videos from YouTube, from Vimeo. And what it does is it also takes out the ads and stuff, because I know a lot of the teachers, we want to share videos from YouTube, but we're always afraid of what our students would be exposed to. So you could bring it in here and not have to worry about that. You could create these videos that, for example, the ones that I've created here, you could turn these into actual quizzes. So when students watch these videos, it asks them questions along the way. And we don't have time to demonstrate all of that, but it's pretty amazing because as they answer, if you provide the answers, if they answer, then it's self-graded as well. So you can see how they're doing as well. Okay, so let me go back to the basics again, where I was earlier. And okay, I think I'm doing pretty good on time, about 5 minutes. Okay, so here I am. So I'm going to use my course navigation here. And this might look different for every teacher because the great thing about Canvas is you can customize it. You can remove items, you could add items and things like that. Okay, but I'm just going to go to the basics. The most common place that we stay, of course, is here in assignments, because that's what we're going to be doing. We're going to be making assignments. And I just want to talk to you about the different types of assignments that you can actually make. We know a lot of teachers make their assignments in modules. They go straight to the units and they create it in there. And some people like to make it here assignments if it will load for us. Let's cross our fingers. So while it's loading and making me sweat a little bit here, I'll talk about, oh, there it is. Yay! So
I have a lot of assignments. Oh, can I say that this is my course? By I just want to say that.
I couldn't take credit. I was like trying to be cool about it, but thank you, Ricardo, for mentioning it. This is his course. You can see I don't understand anything on here, but we're going to continue on anyways. Thank you, Ricardo, for letting me use your course. You are so kind. Okay, so if I'm making an assignment here, we're not going to go through the process. We're just going to talk about the different types of assignments. So if you're online, you could just do direct text entry, website, media recording, where they could record a video, sound. You could upload a PDF and they could actually annotate straight onto the PDF and turn it in. That was a big one for our teachers, especially those who had something like Kami and things like that. And they didn't need it anymore because they can do it right here. You can ask students to actually upload a file. Maybe it's something that they're working on. But a great thing is we can also, go ahead.
One of the things that we've discovered is the ability of teachers to give students choice to show mastery, and by being able to allow students to maybe do a file upload or a website URL and so on and so on. It's just been really a great tool for our teachers to be able to differentiate, but also to allow for choice.
And I like that he mentioned that, because I'm always in a hurry and I forget things. The teacher can click all of these so the students can choose how to show their mastery, which is a thing that we've been, encouraging our teachers to do, because there's so many ways to show what you know, right? So very cool. Thank you, Ricardo. And we also have something really, well, of course, they could not submit anything and you could just give them a grade. Maybe they're giving you an actual something on paper. But we have something really cool called external tools. And I can't go through them, but I'll explain to you what that means. So you could actually use things like Flipgrid and Google and lots of these other apps that you're familiar with, CK12, Discovery, so many things that you could embed inside of your assignment, so the students don't have to go to so many different places. They can complete it here in Canvas, and you could also grade it in Canvas as well. So they don't have to leave and go click around to all these places. So just another very, very cool thing that, we have so many, and there are like an infinite amount of them out there that you can add. So that was really quick. What else? Okay. I was going to talk about mastery paths, but I think I might have run out of time. I'm going to go here to discussions as well, because this is an important one. So you can also have discussions, posts for your students, for your family. So the kids come over here and they can respond and they can do things like that. Your grades, I'm not going to click. Oh, wait, actually, no, this is your course, right, Ricardo? So I can click on this one. So I'm going to go ahead and click on that. So here I am in grades, and you'll see that he doesn't have very many students. Let's see. Oh, he has a really smart student who got 4 out of 28. Wow. Poor Teresa. Okay, so it looks just like this. So there's you have grades in here, but you could also sync this with your SAS, your information system. For us, we use Aries. So I could do all my scoring, my grading, and have it appear here. I use something called SpeedGrader. I put in my scores, put it in here, and then I could sync it and go straight into my information system where I do my report cards and things. So that's a great thing about Canvas as well, that it has the ability to sync, so I don't have to put my grades in here and put my grades in here and do that extra work. Okay. Ricardo, I was going to go over Masterclass, but I think, oh, I can't hear you.
Oh, sorry about that. I was going to say that. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
That, when we talk about Canvas and what you just mentioned, the ability to sync to our SIS, is that basically it's many to one. We love the ability, because it's open source, that all of these other apps such as PearDeck, Google, Flipgrid, they can all come together and we can bring all of our grades, as you were mentioning, and take them all into our SIS, which has made the lives of our teachers just so much easier.
Absolutely. And I think there's so many things I want to mention. I wish I had more time, but I think if I thought of the teacher's favorite things, I think it's also the ability to not only use all those amazing tools and to sync into our information system, but also to be able to just collaborate with teachers. You can add other teachers in your course. You could share materials across. So if you work along with your grade level, you could collaborate together and share. I just said that like twice. But there are so many things. And Ricardo, I know I want to ask you for help, but I know you're trying to, get ready for the next thing, but whatever.
No, I think we both agree that regardless of what we did, we weren't going to do justice to any of these platforms today, because we don't have enough time.
But if you're a teacher that likes to save time, you like your scores to be able to sync across systems into your report cards, you want to easily be able to provide different types of assignments for your students, so that, and they could be able to submit them as well in different ways, and an easy way to grade, just a great place to have everything all organized in one place. Canvas is it's just amazing. There's so many things it can do, and I don't think we've even scratched the surface. There's so many things that we have yet to learn as well. Now, I believe, Ricardo, I don't want to stop because I feel like I'm going to remember something later, but it's okay. Go ahead, take over Microsoft Teams.
Okay, so let's go ahead and go to Microsoft Teams. And as Teresa was describing what Canvas LMS can do, I was thinking that a lot of the stuff you can do in Canvas LMS, you can also do in Microsoft Teams. A lot of people might not be familiar with Microsoft Teams, but just to give you an idea, again, it's a place where students, faculty, educators can come together, create content, collaborate, share resources, but also you can take it as an LMS where you can actually grade assignments. But I wanted to show you a couple of things. So Microsoft Teams is actually free. And if your school or your district does not have it, you can sign up for free by going to teamsmicrosoft.com. If I wanted to show you that, I think I have it open somewhere in here. So this is it right here. You can actually sign up for free right here if you notice. And it's actually part of what Microsoft calls Office 365 A1 plan, which is an educational plan for institutions that is completely free. Okay, when you look at Teams, and just to give you an idea, I'm already logged into Teams right here. You do have the ability to use the Teams desktop app, but also you can use the online. Obviously, the desktop app is going to have a lot more features. And if I went back, you'll be able to see that I can download it if I wanted to download it to be able to use the app actually. But I'm going to stay on the online version, or oh, it was on my mic or yours? That was weird. I'm going to stay on the web-based version. So I'm already here. So just to give you an idea, similar to what Teresa said, with Canvas, over here on the left, you have what we call our navigation bar. Over here, you'll notice that it's over here. And I'll go through all of them in a second, but I want to start with the main one, which is Teams right here, okay? So again, how would I define this particular Teams? Simply a collection of people, content, and tools that come together, okay? So notice that I have a bunch of teams in here. that I've been using. Our district, our teams is tied up to our SIS, so actually they're created automatically. But if I wanted to create a team, I will come over here to join or create a team. So I can come in here and I can create a team, or I can join a team with the code. Okay, I'm not going to do that because I already have one. So let me go in here and let me go inside of one of them just so you can see what it looks like. Okay, let me go inside of this one right here. So I'm now inside of my teams in here, and notice that it kind of does look similar to Canvas a little bit. Okay, so in here, what I want you to see is that I have on the bottom, I have channels. Okay, and this is just a way for me to organize content and conversations. So maybe I wanted to have a channel just to give you. So I have a general channel right here. Notice, and I can kind of manage the channel and so on and so on. I can add another channel if I wanted to do that. So let me add another channel, and maybe I can add a channel and I can call it, I don't know, let's see. Let's call it collaboration. I don't know. Let's call it that, okay? And I can give it a description and I can just add it. And notice how it's going to add it in here. Okay, and it's right down here. Okay, and I have my general. Maybe that's where I'm going to keep all of my files, or I'm going to keep all of my conversations together for my class in general. So I'm in general, and notice that over here, I have something that says new conversations. So I can communicate with any of my students, teachers that are in this class, anyone that is part of this, basically of this team. And I can come in here, and what I love is I can come in here and say new conversation. And let's say that Teresa, and I think she is a student in this class, I can just come and say, hi, Teresa, and it will find her. And I can ask her, right, did you do your homework? Right? And she will get that automatically in there. Okay, so I can do that. I love, one of the big things that I love about Teams is the ability, as we think about social and emotional learning and some of the tools that are available out there. I think Teams has some of the best ones. Just to give you an idea, going to my new conversation, I have something that is called Reflect in here. And let me find it. And I'm just going to kind of click on it. And let's say that I wanted to start my class and I wanted to do a check-in with my students. I actually could do that very easily just by opening. And I can do the how are you feeling for personal and social, but I have other options right here. But let me just do the how are you feeling in here. And I can switch the privacy to whatever I want to, the duration of my my question that I have, and then just ask the question. I don't know if Teresa is going to be able to show the student point of view. I wish we could, because you will get introduced to some amazing guys called the Feeling Monsters, which allows our kids
try to log on while you do that.
Yeah, which allows our students to start building their social and emotional learning vocabulary, and they actually are able to interact with you through it. So we'll let Teresa kind of come in, and you can see what it will look like as she goes in there from a student point of view. In addition, another tool that I can use and I love to use all the time, it's the breakthrough, which allows us to kind of take a break. Think about when we're thinking about cell, right? And we have those opening activities, right? But we have those brain breaks too. We can use that too. So it allows you to do that through here too. And it basically allows you to bring a lot of different apps. I think Teresa called them external tools in Canvas. For me, it would just be apps. So let me just show you what that would look like, okay? So maybe I want to bring a whiteboard to collaborate with my students and myself. So notice that Flipgrid is right here. I have a lot of different options right here, but let me just bring whiteboard just so you can see it, okay? Notice that it's creating a whiteboard for me right now, and I can just change the name if I want to. So I'm just gonna, I don't know, reading progress class. So now I can come up and create a whiteboard. It's creating a tab for me with my whiteboard. And now I have the ability to use this Microsoft whiteboard in many different ways. If I want to just present whiteboard where I'm the only one that writes and teaches to my students, I could. But if I want to collaborate with my students, think about those 35 students collaborating on the same whiteboard with me. And now we're all in the same place, and we have the ability to use all of these amazing tools inside of the whiteboard. So just to give you an idea that that's how that will work. I also, if I wanted to bring, just to show you, Flipgrid, I could come in here. I can say, let's bring it in, okay? And let's add it. Okay. And it's going to ask me if I have an account. And obviously I do have an account. And then look how easy it is for me to bring a Flipgrid inside of Teams. So I have a lot of different groups inside of my Flipgrid. I want to bring the accessibility one. So let me just click it. Okay. I'm just going to copy it. Just want you to see it. I'm going to go back. I'm going to put the join code in here. And I'm going to save. And now that particular topic or group it's inside. You're going to see that it's going to appear right here in a second. And notice that it's inside of my Teams right now. So just a great tool to have. You also have the ability to do assignments. I know I'm going to run out of times. And I have to tell you, assignments, I'm going to go in here. You have the traditional type of assignments, but I need to show you something. So I can create assignments. I can create quizzes. I can create from something I already created. But Teams has something that I don't think anyone else has at the moment. And I know Teresa will agree with me. They have something that is called reading progress. Okay. And you might ask what it is. It's a free tool building Microsoft Teams that is designed to support and track reading fluency for our students. Okay. It makes your life a lot easier. And I'm going to actually allow Teresa to tell us how she will use it as an elementary teacher, just because I'm a high school teacher. But how would you use it, Teresa?
Oh, wow. Now I really have to help you, huh? I will admit, reading progress is amazing. And the first time I saw it, I'm sure Ricardo was talking about it from the high school lens, but I wasn't listening to anything he was saying because I was just looking at it from the elementary perspective. Reading progress is amazing because I remember sitting there with my students doing one-on-one testing for their accuracy and their fluency and comprehension, and just sitting there with my paper checking off which words they're missing. And this does it for you immediately. You could have your whole class put on their headphones and do it all at the same time, and you get this data back, and now you know what to work with. And I could do it in a matter of 5 minutes and be done, rather than take a whole entire day to listen to every single one of my kids one by one. So that's how I would use it. I would just use it for fluency practice, like every week, every day if I could, and they could see their progress and they can see themselves improve as time passes. Anyway, so many things.
Just to add, as a world language teacher, as a Spanish teacher, I can use it also for my teachers to improve fluency in the language that we're learning. What I love is the ability to import anything from Word or PDF, but it also has a great sample library that gives it to you by grade level. I'm just going to pick 5th grade. I have many samples that I can pick. It tells you what they are, fiction and fiction. It gives you the Lexile level, word count. I can select them, and now I can create an assignment for my students. Something that I'm not going to create it right now, but something that I might not mention if I go back to my Teams in here. I think I was in the reading progress one, is the ability of using immersive reader inside of Teams. Notice how any of our students, any of our teachers can use that. Not only that, but I also have the ability to translate inside of Teams. Think about accessibility for our students as they come in here and they have the ability to use immersive reader. I'm not going to go into immersive reader today because I have no time to do it. But were you saying something, Teresa? I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Okay, so I didn't mention this because, of course, it slipped my mind. But as Ricardo was talking about immersive reader, it's also in Canvas, by the way. You can also use it in Canvas as well.
It sure is. Do we have translate in Canvas?
Well, I mean, when you use immersive reader.
Good point. Yeah, good point. So yeah, I'm not going to spend my whole time on Teams. I know I'm going to run out of time, but just to give you an idea, and anyone sends you a message, you will find that under activities. So someone assigns something to you, you're going to see it under activity to go back in there. The chat, I kind of mentioned that you can have it inside of the team. So you can also have one outside. I went over Teams, any assignments that you have assigned to our students. Let's say that I had to grade this right here. I can come in here and I can go into Speed Grader and go ahead and grade it if I wanted to. Something very similar to what Teams has. It's my Speed Grader right here. My calendar in here, amazing. Okay, I can actually create a meeting. If I was basically back to online, I can create a Meet Now team or a new meeting when we can basically come in here and meet together as a class if I wanted to do that. Okay, I've actually seen teachers using this actually inside of the classroom right now when they do their one-on-ones with their students, just using it this way. Again, the calls, you have the ability to do, again, call people if you wanted to, or create a Teams meeting if you want to. All of my files can be uploaded up here if I wanted to through OneDrive and Google Drive, because we are nice to Google too. And all of your apps that I was talking about. Again, I did not do justice to Microsoft Teams. I can spend days and days and days talking about it, but it gives you an idea of what it is and how you can use it in your classroom.
Ricardo, did you want me to show you?
Oh yes, can we show that just really quick? Just because again, it's such a great tool. So here it goes.
I get some points for helping you, right?
Okay. I helped you too.
Oh, that's true. You're right. Okay, so here I am, from the student point of view. I think Ricardo assigned a few things to me. I have a Flipgrid here. I have a whiteboard activity, reading progress. I think did you want me to show them the feelings one? Is that one?
The feelings one, yes, please.
Okay. So this is a great one, especially, SEL is so important to us right now. So how are you feeling today? Maybe I'm just feeling meh today. And honestly, Ricardo and I have been moving furniture all day because the whole office is moving. So this is how I feel right now. It's because I'm so tired. So I'm going to click on this and then watch what happens. And my internet's been so strange right now, Ricardo. I'm sorry.
Feeling
But
monsters.
so here I have different words. And what it does, it gives our students the vocab they need to express how they feel. And that's so validating, right? And it also helps you spot those kids who might need some extra support from you. So I think I am just tired, right? Oh, look at that one. That's exactly how I feel right now. So not only are they adorable, but they also get the vocabulary as well to be able to express, and you can also help them more. So.
And I didn't have a chance to mention it, and I'm gonna be fair. In Canvas, it's called Analytics. In Teams, it's called Insights. But the ability that you take all of this data from what the students say, how they were feeling, and it takes it through the whole year, and it gives you a very, very good idea of what students are going through, what they're feeling. But not only that, let's talk about reading progress. The ability to go back and see how they're improving. I'm not even going to go into Reading Coach today because I don't think it would be fair for me to talk about Reading Coach today. So we'll just leave it with that reading progress for today.
Okay, you're right. Reading Coach is so amazing. And every time we say these amazing things, I want to go more into it, but that's not the point of today. But I'll admit, I think we're blessed in our district because we have the ability to use Canvas and to use Microsoft as well. And so depending on the needs of my class, depending on the needs of my students, colleagues, I could use all tools. And so I'm just going to say you can vote for whichever one you want, regardless of who presented it. But for me, it's a tie because I would use them side by side for different things. So,
and just to add, we because we know how amazing they are, we've actually had worked with our IT department to integrate Microsoft Teams inside of Canvas. So if you are using Canvas, we have to tell you that you have the ability to use all of these amazing tools: Reflect, Insights, Reading Coach, Reading Progress, Immersive Reader. I mean, everything inside while in Canvas going to Teams.
We are all winners here.
Mm-hmm.
Ricardo's not really agreeing with me, but he'll have to for this moment. But yes, so we have trainings, full trainings on this information. So if you want to learn more about, Microsoft Teams and Canvas, anything, we have tons of trainings. And if you don't see what you like, please let us know. We would gladly help you. That is what we love.
Microsoft Teams.
I'm just going to ignore that right now. Okay, so let's go ahead and move on to the next thing. Ricardo, is that fine with you?
Yes, did I? Yeah, let's go.
No, you did not do it justice, but yes, it already sounds amazing. I will give you credit for that. Okay, all right, so next thing we're going to talk about is PearDeck. And so we know a lot of you have been using PearDeck outside of Canvas. People have been using PearDeck just on its own all over the world. So we love PearDeck so much. Because it's just really, you take your slides that already exist and you make them come to life for the students. And as you're presenting, the students can interact with the slides or they could do it at their own pace. But let me just go ahead and go through this. So it allows teachers to make any presentation interactive, just like what I said. Every student has an answer. So, those students who are shy to raise their hands and things like that, we are getting everyone to participate this way. So I love that. As a teacher, you could see the individual answers as well. So you could see who's struggling, who's off task, who needs a little bit more support. And you could see, and not only can you see, you could start them, you can also give feedback and they'll see your feedback as well. Okay, we saw our teachers thrive using this in distance learning, but also, when they came back to the classroom, teachers were still using this. So benefits of active learning right here. I'm not going to go through all of that because this is part of our training that we provided when we were doing PearDeck. Sorry, Ricardo, I kind of cheated a little bit. But here are the types of things that you could do in the free version, because we know some of you in our district, we have the full version, but some of us have the free version and don't feel like you can't do much. Ooh, Claudia, thank you. Your favorite. Oh, that means I win.
I think she was talking about Microsoft Teams, but I'm just playing. No, she's talking about PearDeck.
Where's my FPL? I'm going to put something else. Okay. So these are the types of questions you can have for free already. And our teachers, before we had the full version, were already flying with PearDeck because it was amazing. The students can write text in their response. They could write a number, choose an answer, show student a website. what teachers would show a student a website embedded inside the slides, non-interactive slides, so just slides that they could just see information, they don't interact with it. So I'm just going to show you some samples of that right now. So here, I'm actually going to put this side by side if it works. Okay, over here on my right, I'm sorry if it looks funny. I'm a student on the right and I'm a teacher on the left. So let me go to 12. So here I am.
And
so
she did clarify, just have to say that she clarified, and I was right. But PearDeck is not going against Microsoft Teams, so I still have a chance. Quizizz, stay tuned.
Oh my gosh, you're making me laugh so much. Okay, I love you, Claudia. You already know that. Okay, so how would a former student describe you in one word? So this was a teacher training, so I'm just going to put something here. Just pretend I'm the student. I'm seeing this information. I'm answering right now, and I don't know. I'm going to put that as a student. You can see it on the right. So I'm putting that, and from the teacher's point of view, you can see the student response come in, and as a teacher, if you want to, you can give feedback. I'm the same person. I tried this earlier. So you are so smart. Send feedback from the teacher's point of view. And then now as a student right here, I can see, oh, I have feedback. And students love to get feedback, right? Sometimes they feel unnoticed, but they see that feedback coming in. It's just amazing. So you can do that at any time if you have that turned on. You could also do numbers as well. Let me go to numbers. Oops, let me close that. Okay, so I could enter numbers like we said. We could do different numbers. I'm just going to continue on. And this is a static slide, so you could just see the answers, or, you want to demonstrate something and the students actually don't interact. You could do multiple choice as well. I'm not going to go through these from the teacher end. I just want you to see some of the options. You can also embed the Desmos site in here. Actually, any website you could put in here and the students can interact. So I'm not going to go through that, but I just wanted to show you that it's there. Again, multiple choice. And now here's the premium version. So for those of you who are wondering, is it worth the premium version? Let me just show you what we have. You also have drag a dot. So you could drag things in your responses. You could drag a line, you could draw something, or you could draw on a picture. So I'm just going to show you quickly, Ricardo. I think I still have time. So here's a lot of time. One. So your dot can be different shapes. So here's one that's a person. I could say how I'm feeling. I'm kind of feeling like, yay, because Claudia says she loves me. Okay, so, I mean, not me, PearDeck. Sorry. But so I'm so excited. So I could do that. And from the teacher's end, of course, you see all your students' responses. So you see how they're feeling. This is a great check-in when students come into your class. How are you feeling today? And some students are shy to tell you really what's going on, but maybe you'll have some students who'll have something like this, and maybe it gives you kind of a signal to maybe check on them a little bit later and see what's going on with them, okay? And they wouldn't tell you if they weren't given this opportunity for some kids, right? You could drop your pin. Again, this is just another way to drag a dot. I'm not reading the prompt right now, Ricardo, so don't judge me, okay? You could drag a line like what we said earlier.
Where I would have put it.
It is? I didn't read the question. And here's this is a static slide to show the answer. So if I was going through this with my students, I would say, oh, is this what, did you get it right? Here's another line over here. I'm not going to go. I already know the answer to this one. It's here somewhere. I know it because it's 1998. Right there. And here's a draw one, which we love. I'm not going to spend a lot of time here because Ricardo loves to make fun of my drawing abilities, but I'm just going to draw a heart. That's not the prompt. I know it's an animal. Okay. You could draw a line. You can use highlighter. You could also do text right here. My heart. Okay. So a lot of teachers use that for lots of different prompts, not just for fun, like what I'm doing right now. Right here, you could actually draw on the slide. So let's say circle. If this one says circle the nouns in yellow, so I could take my yellow as students. I could choose. I could do this. Oops. Oh, because I have it on text. I'm sorry. Just like that. Oh, it's not yellow. Don't judge me. Okay. Anyways, you're getting what I'm saying here. Okay. You can also label. I'm using the same exact feature here, but I would label like what I showed you earlier. And we're not actually going to take you into that, but so many options here. And from the teacher dashboard, like we said, you can see all your students' responses. You can star it. You can respond. You can give them feedback, and it just really shows you. It's kind of an informal assessment to see how they're doing, and so you could adjust your instruction as well. And the kids have fun. It's like a game for them, so like they're learning at the same time. So I love that. Anyways, that was in a nutshell. PearDeck.
Did you say a game? Like an engaging game?
I dude.
Perfect. So let's go into Quizizz. So what I love about Quizizz is that it can be in structure pace, but also it could be student pace if you wanted to do that. I think PearDeck does something similar to that, I believe. Our students can use their mobile devices or their computers that they have at school. It works with anything. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. You can access millions and millions of quizzes that are already created for you. You have the ability to use the quiz format of it, and also the lesson that some people might not be familiar with. And you're going to see that it looks very similar to PearDeck, actually, when I do the lesson form of Quizizz. The reports are amazing. The ability to have those grades for our students. You can integrate this into Canvas if you wanted to. And the option to customize things that are already created so you can make them more to fit what you're trying to do. So I'm here in Quizizz right now, and I'm going to just log in. What I'm going to show you today is the free version of Quizizz. There are paid features to it, but I'm going to show you. You can go with Google or Microsoft, or if you've been using it for as long as I have, you have your own username and password. Okay, but now I'm in here, and then automatically it's gonna say, what are you teaching today? So you can look for anything. So maybe I was doing the water cycle, right? And notice that I automatically can find just thousands of games that have already been created for me that I don't have to do. But a lot of people, that's the top quizzes, but a lot of people don't seem to notice that there's also something called lessons in here. And if I have some time at the end, I'll go over lessons so you can see what that looks like. But I can filter also by grade if I want to. I can filter by subject, and I have more options over here. Okay, so automatically, I didn't have to create anything. I came in here and automatically could find something that I want to use today. If you scroll down, you also have the ability to look by content if you wanted to do that. Also, they have icebreakers and bell ringers, and they go by different content area if you wanted to look for those. Okay, but you do have the ability to create, if you want to, a new quiz or a new lesson. Again, I'll talk about lessons in a second. It's a basic instructor-led experience where science and multimedia are combined together. I'll show you in a second. Just to give you an idea, if you've been using it, you can explore just like where I was. If you have a library, notice that I do have a library with different classes for my Johns Hopkins classes that I do teach. So I have everything organized by my courses. So it just keeps it easier for me to be able to go and say, oh, what I'm doing today, that's what I'm doing. That's what I'm going to be using. Okay. If you are, your organization can be in here too. A lot of our teachers have the ability, or they used to have the ability to tie their classes from Google Classroom. We don't use Google Classroom anymore, but you have the ability to actually take any quizzes and embed inside of Canvas LMS, which is really easy to do. So you do have the ability. Reports. Just to give you an idea, I'm going to show you reports, and just to give you an idea, I can come in here, and this was something that I was teaching yesterday. Just really quick, I can see the accuracy just by looking at the colors. Notice the yellow, or maybe the little red over here. I'd be like, oh, I got to go back and review that with my students, right? Let me just go in here and notice that I can see how they did by as a whole, by each question. Go ahead.
Claudia also said she loves Quizizz too, just so you know. She loves Quizizz too.
Yeah, look at that. So we can see the reports are incredible, like I was saying. And you do have some settings in here. Notice that there's a completely brand new integration with Canvas. It is a paid feature. I'm not going to go into it today, but it integrates. It puts it in your speed grader. It does all this stuff that it's incredible. Okay. Can you grade on PearDeck? I'm just wondering. Is that something that you can do on PearDeck? I'm not sure, so I just wanted to ask. Okay, but let's continue. So just to give you an idea, if I wanted to just use a quiz, a really quick quiz. Okay, let's go back to the water cycle. I'm not gonna go through the whole thing, but water cycle, and I'm just gonna use the top quiz right here. I can come in here. Actually, that's a lesson. Let me just go to a quiz. And then just pick it, and I can do it again. I can do a instructor-led live quiz, so I can assign us homework. To me, the fun part about Quizizz is to do it with the rest of the students together in class. So I wouldn't do it as an assignment, but some people use it like that. I would just start a live quiz. I can do a classic or instructor pace. I will do the classic, and I can do team, classic, or tests. And honestly, what our students love about Quizizz, to be honest with you, is the memes that come into play as our students are going through it. So just so you know, this is kind of great to be able. You actually can create your own memes too if you didn't know that. Okay, you have some options in here for music, redemption questions, and so on and so on. But I'm not going to spend time because you're probably familiar with the game, but I did want to show you what the lesson looks like. So I'm going to go into a start a live lesson just so you can look at it. Okay, so let me go in here. Okay, and notice that I have 21 slides. Okay, so I'm going to present. And I'm not going to go through the whole thing, but as I go in here as a teacher, now I have the ability, to actually start, my students will join. And Teresa, would you like to just to join? So yes, we don't have to show your side, but if you can just join, just be
Okay.
nice.
Do you want to send me that link or?
Yeah, I can share the link right here. Let me give it to you. So notice that Canvas thing right there, okay, that I was talking about. Oh, notice that you can send it to Microsoft Teams too if you wanted to. Just throwing that out there. So let me send you that right now.
Thank you. And as you're doing that, just oh no, it's okay. It's not fair. I was gonna add
Go
something.
ahead.
Never mind. I will add it.
We love you too, Claudia. Thank you for being
I
here.
love you. Thank you. Thank you. You're wonderful.
Okay, so I'm gonna wait. So you'll be able to see when your students are joining in here. So I'm just going to wait, and then notice that it's going to say one student has joined in a second once Teresa joins. If you set it up inside of Canvas, so I can see automatically she called herself winner. So she must be talking about Quizizz right now. So as we start, we'll go ahead and start. Okay. And notice that I actually have, and people are not familiar with this, okay? But notice that I go in here, that there's a new control center. I'm not going to go through that right now. But notice that over here, I have a live whiteboard when the kids can actually write with me and we all collaborate together. But let me kind of go into here, and I'm going to go in and I'm going to go to the first slide, and I do my teaching. I do my, if you want to call it teacher center, right? And I go through my first slide and I talk about it and I mention it, and I can write on it if I wanted to use the whiteboard that I showed you a second ago to kind of give more details to my students, right? And go into in depth. But then after that, you'll notice that I'll go through my different slides, and then all of a sudden my student gets a question based on what I just covered. So now Teresa on her side is getting a question. If I was a better teacher, I would have explained what I was, what I was supposed to cover, but she gets a question and she gets to respond it. And I actually get to see that it's all done. Okay. And I can actually go see how they did and so on and so on. Okay, I can go back and reteach. I can go forward if I think that everybody has, gotten the point, right? I can see how it's going and so on and so on. So just a great tool that I don't think a lot of our teachers continue my lesson and I just continue through it, that I don't think we use enough. And it's just things that are already created. And again, they're engaged while I'm presenting my lesson. And that's what is called Lesson Inside of Quizizz. It's just a great tool, very similar to PearDeck in my opinion. It's just completely what you prefer. Okay?
Are you done? Was that?
Was that not enough?
No, and the thing that I knew was going to happen as you were presenting. I remembered one of the greatest things about PearDeck. I'm not trying to win over Quizizz, Ricardo. I was actually really blown away by that.
Too late now.
Yeah. But can I just show something really quick? Not for any redemption reasons, but just because I missed it.
Fine. Go ahead.
I admit. Okay, so can you share my screen?
Yeah, I am.
Just really quick. Sorry, everybody. I know because teachers will be like, why didn't you share that? Just so you know that not in competition, but just it's also here. PearDeck also has a great amount of templates. So if you have your social and emotional learning, you have your templates in here, you could simply add these into your slides, just simply bring them in. There's a lot of things, different subjects and different grades as well. I'm not going to go into them, but I just wanted to, thank you. Keep reminding me she loves Quizizz. I know that. But anyway, I just didn't want to fail to say that because I know my PearDeck lovers will be like, why didn't you mention that? They have templates as well, and it's really easy to bring them in, and you can create your own or you could use the templates as well. So anyways, I'm gonna tell you the truth. I was pretty blown away by Quizizz. I was not familiar with how the lesson feature worked. So I actually probably am going to play with that a little bit. I love it.
And I'm going to be fair too. You don't have to use Google Slides or PowerPoint to use PearDeck. A lot of the slides or the questions are already there without you having to use that. And I know she didn't mention it, but I'm going to have to mention it because it's so amazing. But they're and I escaping my name, right? Flashcard Factory inside of PearDeck. As a world language teacher, it's amazing. We don't have time to go over it, but it's just an incredible part. Again, people might not be aware of PearDeck that has that ability to do the Flashcard Factory, which is an incredible game where the kids are separated into teams and they get to collaborate and create these amazing flashcards that you can take later on into GimKit. Did GimKit lose? Can we go back to that? Oh. Okay, forget it. I'm not gonna go back to that. Let it go. I'll let it go.
Yeah, I thank you for bringing up the flashcard factory because I think what's the favorite thing that the kids did with that is that they were actually working in teams, but they didn't know they were actually showing their mastery as they were doing it. They're like, "Oh, we're just winning. We're playing in teams," but they're actually showing their knowledge. So we're tricking them to learn. So I love it. Okay. Anyways, so we've mentioned 4 of our favorite things that we probably could have spent weeks, literally weeks going over. So we apologize for not going over everything, but we hope you got a little snapshot of the best parts, our favorite parts of them. And so please feel free, vote on your favorite apps between Microsoft Teams and Canvas, and your favorite app between PearDeck and Quizizz. We will not cry about it. And next week, we're going to vote for the final and see who wins overall. So please don't forget to vote. Anything else?
Right. No, I think that's it. I think, again, everybody gets to vote, and then we are going to continue the voting. There will not be any more shows on this, but I'm really excited that we do have a week off next week, right?
I know. It is our spring break, everybody. I'm sorry. We are taking a spring break to vote to get our final app winner. But we will see you the week after that. So don't miss us.
Do we know what we're doing the week after that? I heard some rumors.
Do you want to tell them? I wasn't ready, but go ahead. You can tell them what we're doing.
We're still thinking about it, but I think we're going to take you into the AR and VR world.
We're going to go into AR and VR for a whole month. I told him we should do a training every day, but he gave me that look. So we're probably not going to do that. But we're going to. So
you're in for a treat.
Yeah, I'm so excited. I'm like, oh my goodness, I can't wait. All right, everyone, enjoy the rest of your evening, the rest of your day, and we will see you in 2 weeks. Bye.
Bye-bye.